Thank you for joining us. I'm Adam West with a webcast for Tomorrow's World. When children are young, knowing where they are and what they're doing is pretty straightforward. However, as children reach their teen years, the answer may be a little more difficult to nail down. Many parents may be unaware of the dangers their children might be facing, or the risks they may be taking. One such danger is that of a relatively new social phenomenon, vaping e-cigarettes. If you're a parent, you need to know the answer to the question, to vape or not to vape. Well, first, what are e-cigarettes and how do they function? E-cigarettes are small electronic devices composed of a battery, a heating element, and a cartridge that holds nicotine or other liquids and flavorings. As a button is pushed, the element heats up and the liquid is vaporized for inhalation. While e-cigarettes are being touted as a safer alternative to traditional cigarettes, or even an alternative to nicotine gum or the patch to aid those trying to quit smoking, health officials disagree on this point. Opponents say there is still nicotine, and nicotine is addictive. They believe e-cigarettes could be nothing more than a quote-unquote gateway drug, leading non-smokers, including children and teens, to use tobacco. While the majority of those vaping are adults, the number of teens and tweens vaping doubled and by some reports tripled between 2011 and 2012. This ever-rising trend is troubling as nicotine use can affect brain development in children and teens. Because vaping does not leave behind the smell tobacco does, it is much harder for parents to know when their children are using e-cigarettes. Some use only different flavors without nicotine and claim that no harm can come from that. But is that true? While research is lagging behind significantly as to the health risks these e-cigarettes pose, God does provide principles to address whether Christians should smoke or vape e-cigarettes. In 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 19, the Apostle Paul tells us that our bodies are the temple of the Holy Spirit and that we are not our own. Our bodies are not ours, but God's. They are on loan, you might say. We must use our bodies according to God's intended design and purpose. Smoking harms the lungs, and while vaping's harm to the body is still mostly unknown, is it really worth the risk? Additionally, these vaping devices are being used by some to ingest powerful illicit drugs that result in delusions and even death. How can the police or others tell the difference between those vaping-only flavors from those vaping illicit drugs? According to a CNN article titled Vaping, the latest scourge in drug abuse, dated September 5th, 2015, they can't without extensive forensic testing. Some teens are even vaping drugs in school classrooms, completely undetected by teachers. We're told in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 22 in the King James Version to abstain from all appearance of evil. Since it cannot be discerned what a person is ingesting through these e-cigarettes, those vaping flavors appear to be doing the same evil as those taking illicit drugs. These are only two important reasons, biblically, why vaping is not good. As parents, do you know if your child or teen is involved in this new social phenomenon? The answer to the question, to vape or not to vape, is most definitely not. As a parent, you need to intervene and protect your child or teen from potential harm if they are vaping. To learn more about godly parenting, read our informative booklet, Successful Parenting, God's Way. Thanks for watching. For more information on biblical and news topics, be sure to visit us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and check out more articles on this and other vital topics at tomorrowsworld.org.